Hello everybody, welcome back to Transport Fever 2. I am Arctic Wolf and this is episode 24. We are clipping right along. In yesterday's episode, the last episode, we put in airports at all of our cities and connected everybody with a passenger airline network. In today's episode, we're going to be tying up the loose ends of the resources. We're going to get these construction materials done. We're going to get this food to Tempe. And we're going to tie all the resources into all the cities. So I'm just going to jump right into that. We'll speed it up right here. And I will come back after the time lapse. And now we're in speed build. So the first thing I did was I ran a road and connected it to the existing highway at pretty much the closest point wherever I could from all the resources that aren't connected to the network. Then I went around and I deleted all the old dirt roads that were there. A couple times I had to redraw the lines that I put in. No big deal. And at every intersection, I went under the highway to connect to the off-road with the on-ramp thing. And then the other on-ramp just connects right to it so that it's not interfering. I think that particular setup looks great. I like it. It works well. So I'm using that everywhere. Let me know down in the comments if you have a different way of tying in your highway network to your cities and your resources. As far as I know, there's no wrong way to play this game. So I'm just really enjoying doing this. Right here, we're deleting this old dirt road. And then there's no need for this bridge through the middle of this field anymore because the road that it was going over is gone. So we just put it on the ground. And that's pretty much what I do for the next hour of in-game playtime. So I'm going to throw down a song right here, let you guys listen to some music while I speed through all this, and I'll catch up with you at the end of it. I'm still just adding roads and deleting the dirt roads right now. Um, that's really all I do for quite a while here. I'm going through right now, actually, on screen. I'm going through and I'm putting down the truck stops in all the cities for all the different locations that don't have one. So if it has like Kansas City was good, McKinney was good, but High Point needed fuel. So in High Point, I add a fuel station. In Plano, it needed goods and tools or construction materials. So I put in tools and construction, just one of each drop off point in every city, everywhere it needed it. Then I go through to all of the factories that produce the things, the endpoint items in the cities, and I give them a connection to the road as well, and then a pickup point with a loading dock so that they can supply the truck lines. Um, at this point in the game, everything I'm doing is repetitive. Uh, Same thing I've been doing for the whole game, just with new vehicles, so it's easier to start them. Um, Later on, I do a small attempt at balancing these lines, but they're not balanced yet. That's planned for next episode. Next episode is modernize and upgrade and balance all the lines to 2000s equipment and as many as the lines can handle. So that's what you got to look forward to next time. Um, there's really not a whole lot for me to explain here, so I'm going to put a different song in here, and I will come back to you at the end when I got something to talk about. Okay, so I'm back after the second musical break. That second song there is the one that keeps getting a copyright claim. I don't know what's going on with that. They're telling me it's not even, it's a different song by a different artist, but this came with my video editing software, and I paid for a license to use everything in their library, so I shouldn't be getting any claims on it. So the company who's making the claim is wrong, but I cannot just click a button that says, nope, this is incorrect. I have to go through this long process, and it's going to take a month at the minimum to clear all that up. So if there are ads in these videos during that particular song, that is why. It is not my fault. My channel is not monetized, and I do not want ads on my content. That is on purpose, and it will continue to stay that way until I have over 500,000 subs. That's my marker. Once I hit 500,000 subs, okay, yeah, it's worth monetizing. But up until that point, I don't think it's worth it. So I don't want ads in my content. And if they're putting ads in my content, I apologize to you guys for that. But that whole thing aside, I had to rebalance the steel line. I had to rebalance one of the train lines to get the manufacturers in working order. At this point, I've finished putting down all of the roads and all of the different stops. Now I'm buying vehicles and placing them on the lines, drawing the lines to the different places. Color coding it the same way that the rest of the lines are. So if it's orange, it's either a clockwise passenger route if it's in a city, or it's iron if it's not in the city. If it's yellow, it's crude oil if it's not inside a city. If it is a city, in a city, it is a counterclockwise bus route. The green ones are tram lines. I could go through the whole list of colors, but I like the purple is crude oil, or the refined oil going somewhere. The light purple is plastic. The teal there is tools, I think it is. And then the machines is the dark teal, or the dark blue. Anyway, each specific resource has its own color on the thing. Plus, our passenger lines all have their own color. The machines factory. Yep, it needs 2 more. We set that up. At this point, I'm getting really, really close to being completely done with everything, and it's starting to hit the bank account kind of heavy. So I'm starting to be a little bit conservative about how many vehicles I put on the line. So I start everything off with 2 and let them get warmed up before I add more vehicles. I just make sure that the maintenance is all the way up. I just added a whole bunch of new vehicles, so then right there I was picking the best bus to make all the buses the same. Then we're going to upgrade all of our Peterbilts to the new semi we unlocked. And then there's some fuel semis that are the new tanker semi that we have, which I have to put fuel into High Point over here. So there's that line. All the fuel is red, just because that's the color I wanted it. And now I'm looking at the cities list screen to see what cities aren't getting what they need, which it looked like everything was getting what it needed. So then I'm going to upgrade all the fuel trucks, all the liquid trucks to the new. And some of the semis didn't get upgraded in the last upgrade, so I went through and I redid that again. There we go. Now I'm going to follow some semis around for a little bit, add some trucks to some of the lines, At this point, I'm thinking I'm pretty close to done. Little did I realize I had one more resource to tie into the network. Upgrading, following around vehicles, looking at everything, checking things. I noticed that the logs train has been gone for a minute, so I pin him and check him out, and I balance the airplanes, checking everything. Watching this convoy of semis go across the bridge, that's kind of cool. And then I upgraded all the trams because that one in the front was a tram and it was holding everybody up. And then when I upgraded the trams in Kansas City to the big one, we don't need that many, so I cut it down to 3 per line. All of the inner city trams have 2 on them per line, and they're the fast ones. We just unlocked the best diesel locomotive in the game. So I hooked the logs going into McKinney train up with the new diesel and the better cars. So he's ready for high-speed track when we get there. Watch this convoy of orange semis drive across the bridge. That's cool. We follow them for quite a ways. They're coming down here to pick up iron. I'm going to set them to drop the iron off over here. Make sure everybody's got... I had to move the food drop-off point to the other side of the road so that the traffic going past there wouldn't stop and wait for them. Little fixes like that. Now I'm adding a bunch of vehicles, fixing cargo stops so that they have room to go in there and pick up their stuff. I add a few planes to the steel line and add another runway at the other end, the other airport at the other end, so I can just cram as many planes as I can fit on that line. It won't stop up. And right here, I think I'm done. I'm actually recording an outro right now, and then I look at my cities list, resources list, and find one more that's not done. So I'm like, oh crud, we'll tie this guy in real quick. It ended up taking a little bit longer than the rest of them because it was just being difficult, but I ended up getting it done in the long run, and it looks good. At least I think it looks good. Yeah, right there. There we go. All right. And we turn that so it goes and connects to the farm. We give it a loading platform. And we tie it into the network. And that is officially the last resource we have to tie into the network. So I throw some trucks on it, and we're done. Okay, here we go. We have every city connected to every city with the passenger network. We have every resource connected to the correct manufacturer, and then every manufacturer connected to the correct manufacturer if that's where it needs to go, or the correct city if it goes that way. So the network is complete. All things are tied in everywhere. That's gonna have to be it for today. It took a long time to get all these lines in and get everything tied in and working right. I'm almost out of money, which is something I haven't said since the beginning of the season. But I just spent $1.3 billion adding roads and buying trucks. So if we go to Kansas City, and we look at our headquarters, company score 86 is not bad. Different cargo types transported, all 15. Number of lines, 120. Passengers transported in 12 months, 5,000. Cargo transported in last 12 months, almost 8,000. Total passengers, 845,000. Total cargo, 2.3 mil. Pretty good. We have 115 miles of tracks. 45 miles of it is electrified high speed. We have 6.4 miles of bridge and 4.1 miles of tunnel. Our oldest vehicle is only 60 years old. Our top speed, because we have an airplane, is 555 miles an hour. We have currently 267 road vehicles, 38 trams, 41 trains, 36 ships, and 40 aircraft. Our value, less expenses, is $1.239 million. No, that's a B. Billion dollars. So we are doing fantastic. It's May 18th, 2006. Our date speed is at quarter. And that's going to have to do it for today. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you like this playlist and my channel, hit the subscribe button. If you want to know exactly when my next video comes out, hit that bell icon. It'll tell you. And you people, have a wonderful day. Thanks for coming by. And Arctic Wolf out.